Hello. In this video, I'm going to share some thoughts on how to solve the dreaded e-commerce aspect ratio problems. So a very common issue is that you have different products from different brands, and the brands themselves do the photography, and different brands have different aspect ratios. So let's imagine that some of the clothing in our store are in a square 1:1 aspect ratio, but then we have a bunch of new products in a different portrait shaped aspect ratio. And this just doesn't look very good. We want to have something better. So we could, and it's in some cases you might have to try to figure out this in CSS. So in Shopify, you would go to the CSS file and try to figure out how could we make this a little bit better. So this template is using this gray kind of area here to kind of mark the size of the image. Not sure if it's the best solution, but let's take a look at the problem. Okay, if we change the background size from contain to cover, then we can kind of solve this problem. But obviously this looks terrible. All the heads are cut off, like it's the Middle Ages or something. Now there could be a way to solve that by using background position to be top, but again, not really a very well. I mean, it could be better. Not sure. Let's go back to not cropping the image and showing the full image with background size contain. And then what if we would just remove this background color, these kind of ugly gray boxes? Well, we could remove them and it looks, pretty fresh. Now we have a visual problem. This does not align with this left edge of this kind of box, which we'll imagine here. So none of these are a great solution. So I was thinking, like, how do we make this perfect? And then I found a pretty good way. Let me know what you think. Let's go over to Finder, where I have 6 example images from this clothing brand. And how do we make these square? Well, if we crop, even in Photoshop, we still have the same problem of cutting off somewhere where we don't want to. So we're actually gonna create more space, and we're gonna use artificial intelligence, always something exciting, and we're gonna automate that. So okay, let's go over to Photoshop. I'm gonna just drag and drop one of these images to Photoshop, and I'm gonna grab actions. So head over here. Actions is under window. So you come up with things like this. Let's create a new action. Okay, generate more backdrop space. I don't know, something like that. I think this is called backdrop or something like that. Record. So I'm gonna take the, now what is it called? I know the shortcuts. Okay, I'm just gonna use the shortcut canvas size. You'll find it somewhere. Canvas size, and I'm gonna turn this into a square. This will of course depend on what you want to do, but yeah. And now we're done. Just kidding. Obviously it looks terrible, so let's take the marquee tool and select these white boxes. I'm gonna make sure, yeah, it doesn't matter if it overlaps to this direction as long as you get the entire white box area. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy, I messed it up. Some apologies for that. I'm just gonna try again. Okay, record, marquee tool, select the area, shift, select the other area, right click, content aware fill, the cool new artificial intelligence thing. It's gonna fill up that space, take all the shadows and little gradients that are in there. Okay. And I'm gonna use the marquee tool and get rid of the selection. Cool, now we have this generate more backdrop space thing, and I'm gonna go to help and image processor under scripts. Using the image processor, I'm gonna open up the folder with the 6 images. I'm gonna save them in the same location. You can determine the quality and all that stuff, but I'm gonna use the action we created, generate more backdrop, and I'm just gonna run this action, which is gonna repeat all of those steps for all the images in the folder. In this example, all the 6 images. So hopefully for all of those, it's gonna create more space on left and right side, fill that up with artificial intelligence, in a way that works for that image. So it's using the space in that particular image to create that. And now let's see if we get the demo effect or not. Here goes nothing. So it looks good. Now we have square images where Photoshop has generated more space for us. And these, I think these look absolutely perfect. I don't see any mistakes, any glitches, anything weird. This, to me, I'm not a photographer, but I'm a designer, graphic designer. To me, this looks just as if it was taken in a studio. So these would now be ready for us to drag and drop into Shopify or whatever e-commerce platform you're using. And no longer ugly borders, ugly kind of badly cropped wrong aspect ratios, or getting heads cut off. Yeah, just a tip I found on a client project, or I used on a client project. Hopefully this was helpful. If you need help with your Shopify stuff and things like that, then feel free to get in touch for freelance things. Yeah, have a nice day. Catch you later.